Pickle Talk, where we eat pickles and we talk some shit. Not a fresh jar, but still a jar and still a sound I love to hear. Now, there's still half of a juicy pickle that I left in here from last time. It's a little too soft for me. I really should just throw it out, but I won't. Look how I'm holding this. Like, why are you so casually holding this jar of pickles like that? The vibes are more serious these days. I think it's necessary. I really do. Today's topic is going to be social media versus reality, because there was a trend that went around on TikTok and I posted my own version of it to Instagram, and the feedback I got was crazy in a great way, in a phenomenal way. I got very vulnerable in my post, and the whole trend is that social media is a highlight reel, which it very much is. And so the creators would start posting things and feelings or what they're going through that their audience maybe didn't expect or doesn't know, because it's going on behind the scenes and it's going on in here and it's going on in here. But we don't post that on social media all the times. We post the exciting things, the wins, the happy times. Because of the response I got, I want to share it here on YouTube. I am vulnerable. You might learn something new about me today, and maybe you have some good advice or thoughts and feelings about this, and maybe it helps you. So we're gonna dive into it. And we're not gonna throw pickles around. I was tossing these suckers everywhere last time on accident. I posted social media is a highlight reel. So here are some real things about me. First one, sometimes it gets really hard to not base my worth or value off the outcome of auditions. Facing rejection day after day on something that I love so much gets really heavy some days. Obviously, when I'm posting things about acting or auditions and stuff on social media, I usually post the audition process. I post how excited I am about getting the audition, or even the outcome if I did book it. I like to share the commercials, the TV show, whatever on social media, whatever. What I don't always post is all the days that I cry. Oh, it makes me so emotional saying that out loud. I don't want to cry. This is pickle talk. I can't cry and eat pickles. Like, how pathetic would that be? No. Last year, I had probably over 100 auditions. I'm very lucky to get auditions. I get auditions every week. That is a blessing in itself. Not everyone gets into the room, into the casting room. I'm doing something right. I'm getting into the auditions. Some are a lot bigger than others. However, last year I did not book a single one of my auditions. Not one. Very discouraging, obviously. And I cry a lot because my entire heart is in this. I moved to Toronto to pursue it. I've been pursuing it technically for over a decade. I'm 31 now. And so it's easy to get your emotions invested in every single audition because I want it so bad. And then when I don't get it, you feel like crap about yourself. And you, as an artist, you start questioning, are you talented enough? Is it me? Is it this? And you just start putting yourself down. And it's very hard to face rejection all the time when it's something that you're just passionate about and you enjoy it and you love it. So those days happen often, and I don't post about it. So now you know. Oh, this is a very sad picture. Joce was having a time. I know exactly what day this was. And actually, I reached out to my older sister because I was having a full-blown meltdown. Some days I wake up feeling sad and anxious, and I don't know why, because I have so much that I'm happy and grateful for. So then I get more anxious about being anxious and not knowing why, and I feel guilty for it. Yep. I know that a lot of people deal with anxiety, and a lot of people can relate to anxiety as a feeling. You don't always know why you're anxious. You just wake up and you're very anxious, and sometimes there's nothing going wrong in life, and you're like, why am I anxious right now? I have a great life. I have so much to be happy for. Why am I anxious? I feel very confident that I'm not alone in that. I'm gonna get another pickle. I'm gonna get another pickle. Oh, that's a big boy. I need to eat over the jar this time. I feel more lost in my 30s than I did in my 20s. I feel like I should have life figured out by now because I don't know the final destination. I don't know what I'm working towards sometimes. I touched on this in my last pickle talk. It was very much this feeling, so I won't dive into it too much, but you can watch last week's pickle talk if you want to dive deep into this feeling. But the not knowing the final destination with my career in acting and as a creator on YouTube, I got no clue. Your YouTube channel has a lot of analytics behind the scenes, okay? You don't know what your shelf life is going to be. You don't know how long people are going to show up on your channel for. You don't know how long this is going to last. Is it going to last? Is it going to keep growing? Maybe it plummets. You literally have no idea. I will keep showing up as long as you guys keep showing up, of course. But because I don't know what the final destination is, every day I'm like, I don't even know what I'm working towards. I'm just working. I'm just showing up every day. It's like I'm surprised by how good pickles are, like I've never had one. I find comfort in being alone. I get asked to do things all the time, and majority of the time, I choose to stay home and be alone. I'm trying to say yes to more things this year. I feel like people think I'm always out doing things because when I do things, I obviously post about it. And I am a very outgoing person. 90% of the time, I am alone. Matt and I live in 2 cities. We split our time between Toronto and my hometown, Windsor, in case you didn't know. So we're not always together. And when I'm in Toronto alone, I usually just stay home alone. I don't know why. I get a lot of comfort in just being home alone with my dog. I get asked to do events. I get asked to do fun things with friends, and I always say no. And I'm really trying to work on that because I am very lucky to get invited to some of these events. I want to live life to the fullest while I'm here. I think we should all do that. Some nights I think it's important to have a night to yourself, self-care, be alone. It's a good thing to be okay with being alone, I might add. But I'm really trying to work on soaking in these opportunities and experiences and memories and fun times while I'm young and while I can. So I'm really forcing myself to say yes to things more this year. Hold me to it. I've never been more comfortable in my body than I am at 31. I'm so proud of the work I've put in all these years, but I still have days where I find that my mind plays tricks and old insecurities creep up. I question if I deserve to feel this confident. It feels weird to talk about really serious things while I'm eating pickles, but this is just how I do things, apparently. I have always struggled with body image, and that's very hard for people to believe because I'm a very active, healthy person and I post about my active, healthy lifestyle all the time. That's just my lifestyle, so I share it every day because that's what I'm doing. However, what a lot of people don't know is I have always struggled with my body image. I had a very bad eating disorder, trigger warning I guess. Many years ago, it started in elementary school, led into high school, and even into university. I haven't struggled with it to that extent since university. I've done a lot of work to get through that and completely change my mindset on my body and my body image. Like it says in my post, some days those like old insecurities start creeping up and it's like, hey, wait a minute. Why are you confident? How are you confident? Shouldn't you feel insecure about this because I used to feel insecure about this or this flaw or this part of your body? It's a very weird thing because now that I'm 30, I feel great and I've worked really hard on my body and on my lifestyle to achieve the body that I have and to remain with what I got going on. So I almost feel guilty for getting past that and for feeling good in my own skin. It's a very hard thing to explain, and I'm hoping that other people out there might feel this too or have gone through it or relate to it so that I don't feel alone in that, because I feel a little bit crazy for that feeling. And it was very weird to like put out on the internet and say to you right now as I eat pickles. The butt. I'm biting the butt. Oh God. Oh! Juice went flying out. This is why I have a blanket down, so don't get on my bed. At this point in my life, I don't want kids and I don't see them in my future. Some days I wonder if I'll regret that decision and it'll be too late. I think I'd make a great mom, but I just don't have the desire to be one. As a woman, that feels wrong. I think a lot of women feel this way. It's almost a natural instinct to feel like you're supposed to have children because you're a woman and you're supposed to provide that and you're supposed to be a mom. And now that I'm in my 30s, obviously I have a time clock on the female body. I think I have pickle in my teeth. I have PCOS, if you didn't know, if you haven't seen me post about it on social media. I have PCOS, so I already have struggles with fertility, even if I wanted to have children. But I don't. And maybe that'll change. I can't say that won't change. How would I know? But I feel kind of guilty about it, that I don't want kids. And I guess I feel pressure that maybe I should be thinking about it. Will I regret it if I don't? Obviously, Matt and I are on the same page, so I know you all might have questions about that. Is this normal? I hear it a lot from women in their 30s, that that's when you really start feeling the pressure of the time clock and all that. I struggle to accept that life is moving forward and I can't let go of past time. I often think of elementary/high school memories, wishing I could go back to those times. Young, free, and simple. I miss seeing my friends every day and being involved in all aspects of their life. I briefly touched upon that, about how friendships have changed in my 30s and how it feels so different now. But I have this crazy thing, and only some people relate to it. And my best friend, who's actually in this picture with me, Christy, that's a picture of us in grade 8. We're still best friends to this day. Her and I talk about it all the time. I cannot let go of the past, in the sense that I cannot accept time and the concept of time, and that I'm in my 30s. Like, I miss being a kid so much that it physically makes me sad. It makes me want to cry. It makes my heart heavy. I would do anything to go back to being a kid. And maybe that sounds crazy, but I'm being dead serious. This weighs on me every single day. I've like gone to therapy about it to try and change my mindset and accept the fact that, girl, life is not stopping. You can't go back. Accept it. How do you accept that? Please, please give me advice, because I'm not even exaggerating. It is so emotional for me to accept that this is where I'm at in life now and I'm only going forward and I can't go back. Time is a thief. I hate time. I've always questioned if I deserve to be loved. I have a fear inside me that I'm easy to fall out of love with and that it could happen at any point. That really makes me sad to read that out loud. It really does, because I am so loved by a lot of people in my life, and obviously I'm so loved by Matt. But there is, because of things that have happened to me in my past and things like that, there's just this fear, because I love that person so much. I just fear that there's no way I could be loved that much, if that makes sense. And I'm like, we could be married for 30 years, but that person could wake up one day and be like, I'm just not in love with you anymore. That is terrifying to me. Absolutely terrifying, and I just feel that I'm easy to fall out of love with. And that's really sad, because no one should feel that way. And I really shouldn't feel that way, but I do. And even if someone did fall out of love with me, that's not a reflection on me. Why do I put that on myself? And last but not least, this one actually has to do with you guys, in all honesty. I feel so lucky to have an online community that supports me. Being the reason someone laughs, smiles, and simply feels is the greatest gift. It really is. But there are days where I wish I didn't have social media. I could not be more real in that statement. I feel the gratitude and the love every single day. Even if just one of you showed up, I would be so grateful. But there are days where I wish I could just disappear. And I didn't have to show up on camera, and I didn't have to show up on social media. I can't take a break. It doesn't really work like that. If you take a break from YouTube, that affects your algorithm. I have employees underneath me. I have to show up. I gotta show up for me. I gotta show up for my community. I gotta show up for people who work with me. It's a lot of pressure, and some days you're just like, I don't want to post today. I don't want to show up today. I want to go and live on a farm, and I want no one to know I exist. And so I get mixed emotions sometimes, because it just feels pressure. It's a lot of creativity and a lot of pressure. And some days I'm like, man, what if like I could just disappear off social media, take a break from posting, but unfortunately everything I've worked for would crumble. That's just the reality of the algorithm. It's a high demand, you gotta show up. Consistency, it's the #1 thing in this industry and being a content creator. So there are days though where I'm like, man, like I take weekends off Instagram and stuff sometimes because I'm like, screw it, I'm not showing up. But then there are the consequences of those actions. So that is me. That is the real, not the highlight reel. I hope some of you can resonate with it, maybe relate to it, maybe have advice for me. I am always open to advice. I love reading that other people feel the same way. It makes me feel heard. It makes me feel seen. And it genuinely is like, oh, I am not alone. And there's no better feeling than knowing you're not alone. And I hope that maybe this will help some people. So thanks for coming to another Pickle Talk. If there are certain things you guys want to talk about, maybe we should touch on or discuss, I would love to hear your ideas. So write them down below. I'm out of here though. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. And if you like pickles, eat a freaking pickle when you watch this video, because that would be so fun.